Good evening, ladies and gents, or afternoon actually, for our North America viewers. How are we all doing? I hope everyone's doing good. Me and Jammer are back once again to give you the grand finals for CEA. I'm looking forward to it, Jammer, and I'm assuming you're looking forward to it.
It'd be pretty weird if I was brought in to do this and I wasn't looking forward to it.
We've had weirder broadcasts, trust me. Um, yeah, we're back. This is our third or fourth final now. Fourth, I want to say.
Something like that. Yeah, they
So we
keep
must be
bringing us
doing
back for
something
some
right.
reason.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's either the scuffed broadcast or that like we actually make sense every now and again, and that's just that they're happy with that. So I'm not going to argue with it. I know obviously PGL is currently going on in the background. I hope you're all going to give us your undivided attention as Ents and Navi go head to head into Dust 2. Not that I'm concentrating on other things, but at the same time, I know it's happening. We'll leave that one side. We'll get this nailed out, and then we'll figure out what happens tomorrow for the major. I think we're all excited for that as well. Um, we got 3 maps coming up for you. Jammer, first map is going to be Overpass. Second map
Uh-huh.
is going to be Mirage. Third map is going to be Vertigo. So if we do end up going to map 3, Vert is where we'll actually finish things off today. Overpass, good starting map for us. I think it's become like a staple for us watching North America. They love playing Overpass.
Yeah. No, I feel that's I think the English speaking countries like UK and the States have this kind of common denominator of making Overpass somewhat of a home map. I don't know what it is about it. Could be the language, but who knows?
Yeah, I think it might be that as well. To be honest with you, I mean it's fairly simple to kind of do your call out. It's fairly simple to get yourself into good positions. There's a lot of good setups you can have from T side. I mean, if you've watched any game from the major with overpassing involved in it, we still haven't found all the hidden tweaks that you can potentially push out. I think that's fairly safe to say. There seems to be new things coming from that, coming from the tier one scene constantly with a map like Overpass. I
Hmm.
think we should be pretty much ready to go to jump into our first game. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm so ready.
Perfect. I'm gonna get the game ready lined up on our side. We are, of course, broadcasting or live streaming, I should say, from demos. Because of the time delay and the time difference, it worked out a little bit easier for us to do with this setup. So bear with me as I get us into the game, okay? Promise you,
Yeah, no
shouldn't take too
spoilers.
long. I haven't watched it. You haven't watched it. I literally got sent the files like 10 minutes ago, so there's no way I could have watched two 90-minute games back to back of CS or three 90-minute games back to back, or even longer. In fact, actually, if we end up going to OT, right?
Nah, we totally watched it beforehand. We got it scripted out. We know exactly what we're gonna say.
Yeah. This is the best way to cast commentary of CS if you know the storylines before the storylines even develop. Yeah.
Yeah, never
Uh,
falter.
No, definitely not. But just actually sat here now waiting for the warm up to finish more or less. Because if you remember, cast your memory back, Jammer, to the last time that we did this with CEA, and I loaded in the demo and I hit the skip button to go to the first round, and it shipped us all the way to mid round. For like the second half. Yeah. So
Yeah, no,
we
that
went.
was a very very pro gamer moment. There's
No.
also that one time where
Oh,
we were
here we go.
casting in the SEA game, and you forgot that
Yeah.
overtime exists.
Yeah. Yeah. Or that one time this week where I went to stream on my own channel for CS, and then suddenly broadcast on like a tier two UK CS stream, UK CS teams channel instead by mistake, because scuffed, being scuffed and all that. Like I think we tip the tippy top of the scales of being scuffed.
Yeah, we've
We
got a
are
reputation to maintain.
exactly. If we didn't, then we'd be not having fun. I'm just going to go ahead and throw us straight into gameplay, more or less. The knife round is just finished, so let's transition ourselves into first round antics.
Yeah, everyone loves a good bit of first round antics.
Exactly.
There we go.
There we
All right.
go. See, I know what I'm doing.
Well, we are hopping into the first round of grand finals for CEA. Bits of armor being picked up, some smoke. Well, one smoke on the CT side, and then one set of utility on the T side. So it'll be interesting to see how that's utilized. Woof. Not going for anything, so perhaps eager to get the AWP out a bit later on. It will be interesting to see how that develops, though. Not very much A control coming out from the CT side, and you can see Gamermen have a lot of room to breathe and a lot of space to work with.
Yeah, they really do. So this is CT side is Amazon, by the way, and Gamer Men being GM. So switching straight into the start of the first round. Chef will get the opening pick there with an assist from the Monster Holy Lamb. I'm not even going to try and pronounce. You knew what I was coming with that one straight away, didn't you? You knew that there was a delay for a reason. Seamus? Anyway.
Yeah,
MS.
yeah, we'll go with that.
Seamus, I think that works out pretty well. Swings out, looks in too short, but there's nothing really there for him to connect onto. But obviously we can see from the mini-map that this wrap is already developed from the T side. They're pushing hard and fast into A side, although Proto's taking his time to come along, trying to get a bit more momentum build up for his teammates. Poison Monkey's going to start the initial slap of damage going through.
Yeah, but the T that quickly claps onto the site, closing that range distance, and you can see the trades going back and forth, but the site, for all intents and purposes, is forfeited. GZM pushing with the smoke, he has one, trying to fight for a second, but runs out of bullets, and it is just going to be left onto Ito-chan. Oh, swings in and they don't expect it. He's found a gap in the defense. I use that sparingly because the defense is the offense. There's a tap of the bomb with the kit. 2 versus 1 situation, and oh, the timing works out actually. There's a opportunity, but Proto swings out, and oh, what a clutch! That's a spectacular bit of impact, and that's an initial CT round going towards Amazon.
As soon as he gets that position or optimus, it just gives him so many more options to be able to push into site control. I mean, that's perfectly picked. A little bit of a mishap, obviously, from one of his fellow CT side teammates. Chef dominated on the fact that the USP just has 12, and as soon as you start tapping away, you know, the Glock is always going to win in that close-up fight. But yeah, I mean, that was fairly well played from Chan himself. He takes control of the site quite aggressively through options, just continues to build off the back of that.
Yeah, well, contentious round, and it looks like it's going to be followed up by another force coming through by Gamer Men. Don't blame them for it because of how close the previous round was, and the bomb plant gives the extra funds to be able to facilitate these Galils and bits of nades, but they've already expended it, Nick. I mean, now it's not going to be the easiest task, but you know, with the firepower being the way it is, I think the T side could have done with perhaps holding on to a little bit more of their utility.
Yeah, late game utility from T side and overpass is one of those kind of, it's a 50-50 chance. You're going to take a lot of damage if you retain a lot of that utility and doesn't help you swing out into the mid ground, for example. This is where we saw a lot of the flashes being used, a couple of the smokes being used to make or break into additional ground for them, but leave yourself nothing to really peek into these sites, and especially if you've not really gone up against players that are in that mid control area. The Monkey is lurking still around though. Moonboot, sorry, is there to receive and you'll get the trade. Holy Lamb elsewhere will pick up Food Monster, and it's looking pretty good for Gamer Men at the minute.
Yeah, it's kind of a misleading stat line though, because the M4s are still up and they're still fragging now. Ito-chan have an impact on B, but it's a red herring. The hit is going to come in towards A. Smoke flying over, that's the last nade from the T side. And as they move towards the site, time's ticking low. If bomb gets stopped or faulted here, that's going to be it, but it doesn't matter. All the players fall, CZM and Woof combining, and that's the second round as clean as you like.
Yeah, one of my favourite lines from you this week, actually, weirdly enough, is that when you're on T side, that time is going to come back to haunt you pretty quickly, and you have to make them manoeuvres that are dangerous, you know, to get yourself into a good side control, and that's exactly what happens in this case for Gamer Men. They take too long to wrap into sight. That smoke is deployed, but it doesn't give enough cover. They end up losing a player as they assault through and in, and that's all she wrote before it even begins the storyline.
Yeah, now stuck back onto the pistols. Damage is the name of the game. If Gamer Men can get a bomb plant, I think they'll be happy enough with that. But this is a very forward stance from the CT side. They're just going for these fights. Woof and CZM combining for a multitude of frags, and now just Moonboot and Holy Lamb left to fight for their comrades that have fallen. Deagle's in hand, so there's that one-shot headshot potential, but the spray of the M4 is always going to come up. Awkward engagement.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where you're like, just wrap back around, maybe try and see if you can push back through party or picnic, whichever you prefer to call it, and see if you can get some damage up closer to the Deagle. But that long range engagement is going to favour the M4 if you've got good positioning, and that rock doesn't really give you a lot of cover to work with.
Yeah, but now we're back into the rifle rounds, and Chef has an AWP. First time it's been brought out onto the server. We'll see if he's had or gonna have any impact. Speaking slightly in the past tense because the match already happened, but we move forwards and jostling for control of the short area, and the main part of the two-sided. It's gonna be focusing towards A. Poison Monkey going very advanced. Gets rewarded for his trouble. Wolf combining, and that's tremendous impact from the A-side defenders. And now T-side left scratching their heads. What can they do?
It's not really what they can do. The AWP hasn't made any impact as of yet into this round. It's been tuckered back away, and it's not really been a good position to try and get any opening for a kind of frags into this fourth round. It's been very, very docile with it. Chef has been so far. We've seen him in previous games before with the AWP, and he's been, he commands the ground around him. But Wolf is going to punish him there for outstaying his welcome. The AWP will get recovered by Proto. Try to put this into play, but realistically speaking, both teammates on the T side of things, sub 50. Can they make it work? Holy Lamb will with a clean headshot there into Wolf. There is damage traded, however, and again it drops him closer and closer to 0.
Yeah, now time is starting to be a factor. Poison Monkey's going to hear this. The rotation should be coming through, and now it's just Proto with an AWP and bomb on his back, but not much else of a hope in this round as time ticks down. He's going to have to retreat, concede area, and that's probably just the round in hand already for Amazon.
That's a bit of me, that M4 skin is. I like that. It's been a while since we did skin watch, in fairness, and that's nice. I like it. Anyway, before I get too wrapped up in the whole skin vibes.
Lost in the sauce.
Lost in the sauce, yeah. I see a decimator as well. Sorry. Oh, no. Will get dropped.
Well, that's gone from bad to worse. Amazon, a really hot start, and this is against the defending champions, I believe.
Yes, it is.
Gamermen. I don't know. What do we make of it?
It's just awkward territory. I mean, there's not really much to talk about from the Gamermen side of things because they've been very docile with their push. Then all of a sudden they're wrapping into areas dry. They've got no utility teams to get themselves into zones. They're not winning the 1v1 trades, and when they are winning them, they're getting traded back immediately after. It's very unlucky play in some respects. They don't seem to be doing nowhere near as much damage you'd expect them to be doing when they're in these fighting rounds with pistols.
Yeah, it's a rough spot to be in. I think once Gamermen find their footing, they'll have more of an opportunity to work their way in. But it's just about finding their position, finding out how they want to approach the map, and this kind of an eco round isn't going to work out well for them so far. Amazon on the cusp of 5 rounds for nothing. And yeah, Gamermen still having trouble, but they should be back into some sort of a buy. Proto will be down on a lower weapon, perhaps a Galil or an SMG pulled out for him. Chef with the AWP, and we'll see exactly how Gamermen are going to try and approach their way back into things. As the MAC-10 picked up, Battle of the AWPs perhaps on the cards, but I think the real contentious point is just going to be if Gamermen can get any opening picks, because that's been a bit hard to come by so far.
It really has. I mean, people say that right? And Amazon are really showing that it does be good in position protocols in place, but all the losses yet. There's still rounds left to go back into their side, especially if they continue to take minimal damage to control elements. Food Monster, to Chan and Season Mess. I can't remember how I pronounced it earlier on. Standing by ready to wrap around into this A site, and utilities will get deployed out by them to give themselves a bit more advantage to get in positions. But Hookshot is standing by waiting his deadly with that AK, and he'll pick up the first pick after Prom Plant. Good Prom Plant positioning so far from Gamermen. This is actually looking very good in as far as perspective to pull around back out of this.
Yeah, I mean, Amazon, Ita-chan with 2 kills with the AWP, on for the 4K, if you can get the final kill and clutch up, but no now. Jiggle too strong on them. That is an impeccable deagle shot to clutch up, and the time is there. Ita-chan with a 4K, save the day for Amazon, but that's going to be a costly round. Not to say that it would be troublesome at this point, but that could come into play a bit later. I just want to break down that round though. Like, Gamermen did really well to get those trades over towards Fountain and then get a pick and connect, and that makes things really difficult for Amazon. They need to make that gamble stack, the rotate over to A, and in all realities, they should have lost that round. That should have been Gamermen with their first round. But it's just a really nice bit of Counterstrike from Chan to bring things over the line.
I'm trying to think of what Gamermen are doing. Oh, sorry. It would help if I could speak English, right? I'm trying to figure out what Gamermen can really do to compete against it, because you've got some heavy hitting players on this CT side that are really dominating the field. F in chat for that smoke grenade from Proto.
NA nades.
NA nades? Are we allowed to do that? Can we say that?
Hey, man, I think we could say it.
Just
not that UKCS is doing much better.
No, yeah, okay. You've got him on that one, 100%. Gonna get a DM off Brad in about 20 minutes going like, can you please stop saying NA nades? Like, come on.
Well, Gamermen, it seems like they're posturing more towards B this round. Holy Lamb being caught off guard. Angle's not going to favor him, and Monster picks up the initial pick. Chan with more impact, locking down the site with the AWP, and now it's up to the remaining players. Food Monster lucky to escape with his life, I'm going to say, for that moment, but he's able to deploy the smoke, and that'll halt the aggression for a time. Time ticking down, actually, and that's going to be another factor. So Gamermen, they're content to take these rounds, you know, at their own pace, but it seems to be somewhat coming back to haunt. Time so low, and that's a really good spray control, and Chan to clean things up. Gamermen going down 7-0, and this is almost the opposite of what I was expecting coming into this.
Yeah, completely polar opposite of what we actually anticipated coming into this map. We've seen Gamermen play this map in previous finals, and they have taught teams, frankly, how to play it. Amazon coming up fighting in this grand finals, and I mean, whatever's working for them is doing great. I need them to potentially help me out with my CT play, to be completely honest. On this map.
Well,
big swing there. Yeah, forcing the aggression to pull back with Poison Monkeys there to cover and lend some assistance.
What do you make of the double AWP here?
I mean, they got nothing else to lose, right? Like, it's just we've been pulling rounds constantly.
Well, double AWPs, you know, they can be very effective, but when you've got a low buy like this, if the pistols and SMGs can close down the range, if they can get up close and personal, they can be really effective, because you can't really multi-frag with an AWP when you've just got multiple players rushing you down. It really just depends on whether Gamermen can find a way to close that distance, and that smoke from Proto should help, but it might act as a one-way if Poison Monkey wants to use it. Timing's going to be fortunate for Gamermen as they get close to the A site. There's a multitude of CT players here, and it doesn't go well, but the entry comes with the Mac 10 effective. Poison Monkey doing one up, and that's going to be a strong performance, but the A site has fallen.
Hookshot just basically like put his team into the shoulders at that point. Long, clears the entirety of that side more or less. Poison Monkey's there to be able to recover back into it. He drops 3 of his own, but it's just not enough to bring the round back into bear for CT side. And yeah, Hookshot, give that man a pat on his back. That was incredible play from him to swing in with the Mac 10 just at the right time and put quite a number of CTs in the ground.
Yeah, I don't think, though, like, you can count on that to consistently win you rounds. I think Gamermen still have solutions to find for this T side, but that's definitely a step in the right direction, and it's at least going to challenge this Amazon side, but that's not the best start.
Yeah.
Luckily, it is only the Galil going down, but Holy Lamb even being chipped down bit by bit towards short, so that bit of presence will be communicated over, albeit if it's short-lived for the time being.
Good unconfirmed damage there from Hookshot. Good ones there will delay things as far as that CT hold. Photo elsewhere. Shooting straight back to back with the trade. poison monkey.
Well, that's
Given
the A site falling, and you can see
given
the
the
instant
fans,
rotation.
Given the fans what they want with Proto, apparently he's a hot favorite from the CEA fans.
Gotta love the support coming through for your colleagues and friends. Hopefully, the momentum can be spurred by the well wishes in chat, but we'll see. Because this is still a 3-on-3 and one side counter utility coming through. As the hit comes in, Proto trying to swing around long, runs out of bullets and barely escapes with his life. But his teammates are there to support him and still gets 2 with a molly to boot. So that's an impeccable bit of opening performance, and he's on for the ace. He gets it.
Sorry, I've been corrected, by the way, as well. He's not a favourite, he is the favourite. So.
All right. The one and only. There's no one in the name, but he does seem to be one in the game for the time being. It's up to Amazon now to return the favour and see if they can get any more rounds. Because 7 rounds on the CT side is good, but you ideally want to get a few more for it to be comfortable, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was Forrest that put it perfectly. Overpass is such a weird match for the amount of space you have. Good early round aggressions from either side can win it. 7 rounds the better. Yes, it looks good on paper, but realistically speaking, if Gamerman can pull back another 2 or 3 rounds, that puts him in really good position for the switch.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a slower round here from Gamerman. It's something we've become accustomed to, but I mean, it's gave them 2 rounds very recently, so they're starting to crack the code of this defense. Maybe they're starting to back, and that's a good timing, but Proto just gets switched on, and well, sometimes you just need to hit headshots faster than your opponent.
Really have much of a chance there. Gets a bit of damage dealt in to each one. It's just not enough.
Yeah, well,
it's
okay. Proto, he's not going to have success, but his teammates will have some towards A side. Aitachan, though, retained his position, and this man is having wild success with the big green. Down this A side, Moonboots finds the timing, and so the site has fallen. Just about the timing. Go for this retake. Damage through the smoke is good. Can't really get any control at that point.
Still I do believe utility for the retake for me. This isn't. This is a let them have it kind of round. You know what I mean? It's retain them M4s, retain the body armor. You do have a defuse kit to get, but you need to get that opening pick, and there's nothing really for you to use to get inside to get the pick. Yeah, going down so low as well. That's the kit going down. So CZM 1 versus 3 on the card. So don't fancy his chances, and it's probably not long until he falls. Moonboot will lock it in. Nice round from him, and that's a nice round from Gamerman overall. I do believe in this intermission you're a little bit quiet, I've been informed. Apologies. Let me pump up the volume if you will. Let me know if I'm a little bit better with... I need more Reaper in my eardrums. A little more gain, you know what I'm saying? All of the gains. Well, as you fix that, it does seem as though Amazon are going for a heavy A play with the pistols, and this could be wildly effective. Lots of players. Flash is a really good chef. He's well dancing around. Proto with 2, and this is gonna be somewhat of a shutdown. Only 1 kill found from the pistols. It will be the AWP, but Proto is good enough to get that up for his teammate. Big rounds. Any luck? Massive rounds. I'm constantly lucky. Do you know? We should hopefully be a lot better now. So appreciate the heads up. Thank you very much, everyone. Please obviously let us know in chat if you have any feedback when we send it our way. It will be completely ignored, and we always pay attention to what I say every now and again. If chat are patient, they'll have a round where I'll only show Proto. How's that sound? People pleaser. I can't help it. I'm a crowd pleaser. That's what I'm about. True. Well, a lot of kind of A space has been forfeited again from the CT side, but I honestly can't really count them out or be against it.
it's not worked recently, but definitely be effective. And Ita-chan being boosted behind the stop sign. That's a really nice angle to be holding, and does give them an opening pick, which is, you know, direly needed when you're giving up this much map control.
There's so much room to maneuver down here. I mean, Holyarm's got so much info gained just because he can hear audio cues around him from that location, and if he's been kind of unseen there and he's not made too much noise himself within that location, then the CTs are more inclined to make those, you know, make those slight error of judgments. I think, obviously, we can see them wrapping up, ready to push into B site. There's a lot of trade of utility coming through with this as well. This execution's got to be very good. It's tight for time as it is. 24 seconds left on the clock. That utility is getting pumped into the site control itself. You see the CTs wrapping around. There's a few clean picks there from CZYMS. They'll pick up 3 for his Shovel and Poison Monkey to finish off the last, and it just wasn't effective with the way the utility was used by Game of Men, Chama.
Yeah, I think just a few key flashes and then taking, you know, more space and going for those aggressive fights were really what was needed there, because when the time's so low, you need to win the site outright. You need to be, you know, cracking that door open, bust it down off the hinges. Otherwise, you're just going to be shut out. And if there's any wiggle room for the CT side to come back into things or to just stay alive and stop the bomb from being planted, they're just going to go for that.
Yeah, they are. Oh, big kill there from Buff. Feels like Holyland was there more or less to make noise, really, to give his teammates a bit of a chance to wrap around onto the side control up onto A, but Wolf able to go deep with that. Oh, gets a bit more info for his teammates. That's why we don't see the early wrap coming through, and that aggression from CT side, you see the way they wrap back into side control. It's very nice indeed. See, I mean, this Amazon team have got very good protocols, Jammer.
Yeah, it's been very good so far, you know, barring the 4 rounds lost. But even in those situations, you know, you can't really fault them for their approaches in most of these cases. And even more, you know, aggressive angling, just trying to get some info, getting some map control back. And that should feed across some info that the B short area is unoccupied. And therefore, you can start to make suggestions or inclinations that it's going to be an A finish. No rotation to come through just yet, but there you go. Just as I cast a curse it comes through. A hit is there, the nades are there, but Ita-chan's the only one hitting shots right now. Gets 2, and that peters out the attack, but Proto, he's there for the trade. Cuts down his counterpart, but there's so much back and forth, and it's just Proto down there in this 1 versus 3. A bit of a win from Wolf, and Proto gets a blind kill. Now 1 versus 1, on for another ace, and if he picks this up, that would be miraculous. Exactly what his team needs, but oh, just can't quite etch it out. Food Monster picks it up and picks up the AWP to bring the 9th across the board, and that's just an unfortunate spot.
And the crowd goes wild, Channel, by the way. Once again, Proto, they're so close on that ace. I mean, it's just a matter of time, and unfortunately doesn't have enough ammunition in his clip to be able to finish off that last kill. And yeah, unfortunate from Game of Men. Very well played from him to get himself into sight, but very well played from the Amazon guys to recover somewhere. Pushing through into site control though. Game of Men are looking to make all this aggressive push straight into site with eco round slowly ticking away. Wolf is just clearing house.
Well, one of the things I was going to talk about is how the money was low from the previous round, you know, coming down to a 1v1, and that could be you know, consequential for that round, but Pistols don't get anything done, and now you can see for the remainder of the half, CT side's going to be sitting pretty, whereas if Game of Men lose this round, we could be in a worrisome spot.
For the last round of the half, Jabba, it's going to be Proto Camp, okay? And I'm going to give them what they want, and that's it then. We're on to normal afterwards, I promise. But let's see if Proto can actually pull off another race. I'm interested to see if he can, more or less. He'll look at the swing game. He'll get 1 off the back of it. And he's dead, never mind. Anyway, switch straight to the next one. CYMS will finish off hookshot. Good clean kill through door there. This round tipping the skills as far as CT side is concerned, and Poison Monkey's deep on long, by the way.
Yeah, I don't think Game of Men are quite aware of it. The A site is almost right for the taking, but Poison Monkey's able to retreat at least past to a point of some, you know, brief respite. Got some teammates rotating in. probably because of the info that he gained, is just about how Gamermen approach this area and see if they don't even want to go that direction. And that's probably the smart thing to do.
Poison Monkey still hasn't wrapped, by the way.
I
He's
mean,
still
there's
long,
so much time on the clock.
Yeah. Sorry, cut you off there, but yeah, there's too much time on the clock.
Apologize. Oh, CEMS. He's done a really good job, remarkable for this half. Poison Monkey still on long, coming in to help just in the nick of time, and that's going to close things out 11-4. Gamermen not putting on the performance that we're expecting, but definitely not out of it just yet, right?
No, exactly. That, you know, the scoreboard speaks for itself. Realistically, the CTs are very strong as far as KD ratios are concerned. At the minute, 17-6 for Ito-chan, 17-8 there for Poison Monkey, but there is still good momentum being picked up from the Gamermen. You know, Proto 15-13, 8-12 there for Moonboot. Still good things coming from it, but they just need to make good. They need pistol rounds realistically, right? Like they need to get this pistol round underway, get the first round afterwards, and then they may, be able to get picked towards level heading, but it depends on how this first round goes for them.
Yeah, Proto gets a lot of action towards A, but you can see the bomb. It's over towards B. I've got a feeling this is somewhat of a situation where you're playing with the rotations. Moonboot almost considering leaving the B site empty. Stacking the cards over towards A. It's not going to be the correct decision. Amazon start bounding onto the site, and Moonboot is holding them off for the time being, so at least a few rotations can come through. Early Lamb in for support. Shots flying, but no one really being connected by them so far. Terrorists across site, inching their way. Hookshot goes down. Wolf drops down into pit, and that's a weird spot. All the T's are winning their fights, and that's a rough spot. Now Holy Lamb, 2 HP, not long for this world, and the terrorists pick up a 12th round.
Wolf drops into pit with a CT, and they're both fighting against other players around them rather than fighting each other. Very weird scenario to be in, but like, I'm for it. There was that minute of like, I'm in here, you're in here. Let's just leave each other alone and fight everyone else around us, okay? Let's be gentlemen about it. Yeah, it's a weird scenario there from Pit. I see in the Kev. I didn't want to bring it up, but can't not bring it up. Proto with a Zeus though. High potential.
Definitely potential if he can set up in the right spot, right?
yeah, exactly. I mean, at the minute he's, he's there or thereabouts. Depends who pushes into him. Ito-chan is actually super close to him at the minute, but you can see him edging backwards away from that point of contact. Ah, timing here is everything. Oh, he misses with the Zeus. That's got to be like inches away from Ito-chan, but he's good for 2. He'll fetch up and there's your negative kill. Hookshot will fall down, and the site control has been completely controlled on the T side, but let's be completely honest with ourselves, they're going up against pistols.
Yeah, Chef is able to pick up the AK off Ito-chan's body. If he can save that, that would actually be a pretty decent return on investment. It's one of the only 2 rifles in the server right now. But, you know, you can see from this minimap, rather, Amazon are pretty keen to not let that happen. Pretty keen to make sure they can rip that out of his hands. Chef stay alive, tucked in a corner, but not long for this world, and that will be 13 for Amazon. Like, they're just going to steamroll the defending champions.
Yeah, they're going to swing it straight into Mirage, hot and heavy, and just I don't really know what more to say about Gamermen. They're just leaking rounds left, right, and the centre. Hopefully they get a better sit in map 2. I know we're not quite out of overpass just yet, but it's feeling that way, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think, like, you know, any of these teams will quite be considering that point just yet, but you could definitely see how that might reside in the back of their minds, you know, just almost writing this one off already. Smoke.
Go for it.
I was curious what this lineup was.
I can see it's that taking the night for us. You can tell. It's like 9 o'clock. Both of us are working full time as well, which doesn't really help things because I'm knackered, you're knackered. But we're always good for CSGO, right? Because CSGO is what, Jammer?
Is life.
It's life indeed. There we
go. Real question.
Oh god, I swear.
Cast your thoughts on beads on toast.
Yes.
Yes, pro.
Yeah.
We are both pro beans on toast. I mean, I'm a student, well, just recent graduate, but it doesn't matter because we have a B execute coming through. Amazon throwing all their nades over, no real counter utility to be used because there's none left. And Proto caught off guard, worked with an entry. Oh, Poison Monkey helping him out with the second one, but I thought that was going to be the Mac 10 coming up. Trumps, Moonboot going down as well, and Poison Monkey for work. CDM helping him out. It's-chan and Poison Monkey falling, and now it's a 1v1. Holy Lamb with a bit of impact, but that's not going to be the right decision as CZM closes things out.
As quick as you like, that bomb plant went in. Proto just started slapping heads all over the place. Yeah, it's a good round from both teams realistically, and I think just the way that smoke kind of enveloped both players, it was luck of the draw who was going to get the next one. You can see Wolf there in chat, by the way, putting up a comment about the damage he had dealt in that round. 98 and 0. Hot flash, question mark?
No spoilers in chat, gents, as oh, okay, that's a lovely sight to see. A CZ coming through. Do you want to give a little impression?
No.
No? Okay. Hookshot will go down, so he's punished for his use of that lovely little electronic taser. And now it's 4-on-4.
Big round each from Gamer Men. Convert a few more kills. Chef unfortunately isn't good at the minute. He'll get wrapped on in a second. Food Monster will fall straight out immediately by Poison Monkey. He goes straight back in for another dip, and Holy Lamb is the man that will finish off. 3v2, but it's looking hot and heavy for the side of things. They start to slide more and more aggression into this. That double molly into Optimus forces me to the awful position to take on Poison Monkey, and this is looking like it's all over, Jammer.
Well, you know what chat always says, if Proto's alive, the round is alive.
Exactly. Let's have a look, see what Proto's doing at the minute. He's creeping up the back lines. He's looking for one. And yeah, that was unfortunate in fairness. PT50, finding this quite a lot lately, and I don't know if you can put your expert opinion onto it, Jammer. First 2 shots will land, third shot just goes wherever it wants to go.
Yeah, PT50 is a weird one. If you're going to be spamming that thing like ham, then you almost need to give it its own kind of recoil control and start aiming down towards the knee, but definitely one to consider. I think the PT50 has tremendous value in just not spamming though. If you treat it kind of like Zyru does and just tap away, you can get like really good return on investment. But besides that point, Amazon is on map point for the first map of his best of 3 of the grand final. Thoughts?
Big swing. Yeah, no, I'm just saying big swings. Like this, sorry, I had thought processes going in my brain then. I was trying to.
Okay. Cogs are turning.
Formulate words, make English noises from my mouth. It does happen every now and again. Anyway, just as quick as you like. Straight back into the potential final round of this first map. A lot of utility being used there to no success from either side of things, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah, I'm a bit confused about this setup, and it's very vulnerable to this kind of play that Amazon is setting up for right now. You can see the entry comes through, hook shot, standing behind the door, doesn't stand a chance, and now all of the weight rests on Chef's shoulders, just sitting very low, so he needs to have a multi-kill round. Oh, sorry, that was Moonboot. I apologize, Chef. Didn't mean to call you out there. Doesn't matter, though, because the B-side has fallen, and man, this is a rough outlook from the CT side, but it starts to work its way back to an even keel. Just as I say that, though, Chef goes down.
Proto, last man standing. He's getting shoulder peeked constantly by Food Monster, who's just keeping his attention by the looks of things to allow him to capture the position. And that's it. First map goes in favour of the T side. And we still have 2 maps potentially left to go here for Gamer Men to do something with it. Thoughts, Jammer, before we take a small break?
Just I'm really impressed by what Amazon have brought to the server. You know, Gamer Men, we've seen what they can do in the previous seasons. I mean, aren't really playing up to the form that we expect right now, but there's always an opportunity for them to come back into things in the second map.
Yes, indeed. For some reason, I have no idea why, but PGL keeps on coming mega loud as soon as I get onto the onto the main menu, and then immediately start jumping and going, "Oh my god, what's going on?" I want to answer that question that was in chat, by the way, because we didn't really get too much of an answer to it because we were swinging straight into the next round, right? Yes, beans on toast, like 100%.
Oh, okay.
Like it, yeah. Sorry, I should have probably said to you where I was going with that. Yeah, beans on toast, 100%. It's like the best food ever for when you're sitting there going, I have no idea what I want to make for food. I'll just chuck 2 slices of bread in a toaster and make some baked beans. Job done. Anyway,
Yeah.
that was a weird conversation to have, wasn't it? Right at the very end of that. We're gonna jump into the next map relatively soon, which is gonna take a very short break. We'll be back with you soon. And we're back with map 2 of 3. Straight into the next one, Jammer. Um, we kind of talked obviously about what happened in the previous map. I don't think there's much point in us going over the ground again from Overpass. It was fairly well set as a win for Amazon. They didn't really do much wrong. Gamermen didn't really capitalize too well in their T side, and Amazon were just super aggressive on their T, so it's just the way that it went in the end. But we're jumping straight into Mirage, a fairly well played map. If you want to quote it as a well played map, that is.
Yeah, no, I mean Mirage is literally the most puggy map in the map pool right now. So I definitely think you're fair, coming out with that analysis. But I think it can definitely lend itself to a bit of game, and it can lend itself also conversely to Amazon. It really just depends on who's going to come out the batches, hotter, who's going to be able to hit their shots, maybe get those executes flowing through, and just state their claim onto the map. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one, as you said, it's really puggy.
One of my what used to be one of my all-time played maps was Mirage personally, but I've been lending more and more to Inferno as of late, and that's got absolutely nothing to do with my warm-up routine, which is playing that thing you sent me. What was the map called?
Oh, the
again?
pre-fire.
The pre-fire thing, yeah, constantly on the pre-fire thing before I actually start streaming, before I play CS, and yeah, crazy. We are waiting just for the warm-up to finish, and we'll be jumping straight into live gameplay. And we should hopefully get the second map under the way relatively quickly. I hope everyone's enjoyed though so far. Obviously I've enjoyed, and I think Jammer has as well. I can't speak for Jammer, even though I try to, like, constantly. Jammer.
I'll you can speak for me on this occasion. Say what you want, bro.
Jammer's enjoyed himself massively, okay? He loves being
There we
spontaneous
go.
as well. And it's weird, we were talking in the mid-break, and very rarely do we have chat up in the background to read what chat goes on. I think CEA is one of the only ones that we really tend to do it on because of how fun the chat actually is at reacting to things that's going on. And yeah, so it's we like that. We enjoy that part of it. This is like our holiday cast, if that makes sense to anyone out there watching.
Yeah, I'd say it's very much more like a community that we're casting for here. Like CEA, it's a group of people coming together from their places of business to do something outside of work that's ultimately here to do some good. These teams are fighting tooth and nail to win. I think pots for charity, right? So just a great bit of fun.
Yeah, very much enjoyable, bit of fun, and more power to it. Hopefully we get to do a lot more and to enjoy CS with you guys. Because I know CEA do loads of different things. Dota now, chess, which was actually really funny earlier on when we were talking. Me and Jan were in the pre-broadcast, were talking together at the matches that we were going to watch, and how we're going to discuss stuff. And we had a random visitor pop up into our live channel from the chess side of things, and there was the immediate pistol round into disconnect for a lot of players into this map. Moonboot is going to send Food Monster and Wolf back to the spectator screen. He'll immediately fall back into sight. Spotted bomb at top mid as well, and I mean, that's good gained info, but realistically speaking, a minute and a half left on the clock, Jammer, it doesn't really matter, right?
Yeah, it's kind of info that you'd like to have, but at the same time, you can't really rely on it to have any significant impact on your approach to the game or approach to the round. You can see the terrorists though re-angling towards A, and this is a good rotation. You saw that initial B stack pushing up short, and now based off that info, all the utility comes flying over towards A. The hit comes through, and it's just Holy Lamb on the side. Hit in hand, flash in his pocket, but can't do anything. He's swung upon from Palace and gets not much done. Proto with the dualies and gets the bomb partner. So that's a nice return on investment with the double pistols, double the firepower, right?
Proto will pick up another, in fact. Sees everyone managed to finish off that kill, and gives a little bit of spice in the background of it. Wow. I took all my power then not to hit the button I have on my soundboard that adds a little bit of spice. It really did. I had to remind myself that I'm not on my own broadcast and I'm on someone else's, and the meme cannot be played. It's safe, but it still should not be aired on this broadcast. Am I correct?
this is a place of business, Nick.
This
No
is a place
time
of
for
business,
memes.
yes,
here.
sorry. I apologize. Yes. Professionals. Anyway. Moving swiftly forward. Before anyone asks for it in chat. Up top mid is the place of interest for the T's at the moment. There is one player lurking there on underside, as you can see. Hookshot to the MP9. Try to generate a bit of extra cash. Proto is going to open things up for us there on Tito Chan, and that nade will finish off Poison Monkey in the end. This is, again, a good round from Gamerman. First half of map 2, Jammer.
Yeah, and I really like the word foray. That's a nice one. Bonus points to you.
Thank you
But yeah,
much.
as you said,
I've been learning the English language.
starting to come together. Well, the 4 MP9s of the CT side do a great bit of damage, and that's kind of leading into this bonus round now. One of them will upgrade to an M4, so it's helping their case in terms of contesting with the AKs. But Gamerman, they definitely start a bit stronger compared to how we saw on Overpass, and that's what we wanted to see out of these guys. It's just if they can maintain that through these next few rounds and, you know, build up some of a streak like we saw Amazon do in the first map.
Exactly. They've got it. They've got one thing in mind now, and it's getting to Vertigo, right? Like, they've got to survive long enough to get into Vertigo and potentially take us to, you know, potentially pull it back into the third map. Gamerman needs to do a lot in this map to really lay quite an impact, if anything, there into the Amazon side. And having those opening picks like that work out in their favour is only going to really benefit from them. Both of them there will get an open pick into this round. Poison down. Koto is the man in the action at the minute. Get a few picks on the board, get the M4, and Hookshot will swing out to get the final kill on the CZYMS.
Yeah, when you're doing executes like that, you need to be able to play around the counter utility from the CT side, but it's just really well placed mollies, nades, flashes, and you know, just angling around the edges of counter smokes that help Gamermen pull that across the line for their third right there. And I think Amazon were caught a bit off guard by that.
Yeah.
You can see them buying into this half buy now, and if they can get a few kills, then you can forgive them for the previous round. You know, they're still putting pressure on, but right now, Gamermen are set up to run away with things.
They are indeed. Ooh, big D-shot plans there in the back shaft as he gets into an awkward position. Hookshot will finish off CY. And there with a CZ, just tapping away at everything that pops up in front of him. Should get ball control here. Post-plant position is everything on B side, especially if you've got short control, which they don't have, but they haven't really needed too much focus on it to clear. You know, once that mid-player control is absorbed there with the Deeg, they've got to understand that short isn't really the angle that we played for a while, at least anyway, for the retake. Retakes, they're pushing through in with it now. Proto will fall, so with Chef alive, but not for long, as Food wants to finish them off with a quick, clean victory.
Yeah, nice attempt from Gamermen, but ultimately at the point where you're in a 4 versus 3, time's ticking down, and you have no idea where the positions are from the T side, you just press that save button and you just lock in, you know, a fight for the next round, because now you're stuck in this position where, sure, you've got all the, you know, the rifles that you want, but you don't have the kits, you don't have the nades, you don't have all the bells and whistles, and you're on a knife's edge. If you lose this round right now, you're stuck back into elo hell, and you have to, you know, eco a couple of times then, like, before you can even start to have a contention moving forward.
Yeah, exactly. You're 100% correct. As soon as you start losing that utility, as soon as you start losing that little bit of extra aggression, that little bit of, you know, the pocket ace, if you will, you know, to use a poker quote, like, as soon as you start losing that competitive edge in it, it's all she wrote. Swinging back into this slight control, however, Proto will be finished off by the YMS. That mid control coming in from Poison Monkey takes down Hookshot cleanly with the AK. I think at the minute, the way things are currently looking, Gamermen are going to have to start wrapping relatively quickly to get themselves into good site control positions, but the smokes and utility from the T side have put that to rest immediately. Holy Land will tap the bomb after the plant has actually gone through, but there's not really a lot in this for the CT side, Jammer.
Yeah, it's a nice attempt from Holy Lamb to come back into things, but once he gets those initial kills, it's expectant from his point of approach. Now moon boot in a 1 versus 3, and this is one that you definitely should not be calling on the cards. Goes for the orb. That's audacious, but he's punished for it by Poison Monkey, and I think that round really comes down to the game plan, or, you know, the way it fell through for Amazon to go through get a couple of opening picks, you know, jostle for some position, and then just go for that execute onto the site. You know, after you pick up those initial kills and throw those smokes over, the round's done and dusted.
Yeah, it's completed at that point. Wrap back round into CT, get yourself up towards B site, try and take any lurkers on that are there, retain, and I think that may have made a bit more of an impact into this round for them. You know, we're now in a situation where there's no purchase at all, other than the P250 there in the hands of Hookshot, but there's nothing really in it for them. Big stack onto A for them. You know, try and get some picks out of the back of it. Try to, you know, not allow bomb plant to go down. Do whatever you can essentially to lose this round, but lose it in a financially gaining manner.
I like the way you put that, but
Thank you.
Despite that, now Gamerman. No, not despite that. I'm joking. Gamerman still stuck in this pistol round, and it should be easy enough pickings. But there is a stack on the A site, and I don't know if Amazon will consider the amount of players here. It's not going to be too worrisome, as only 2 players fall. So economy not really challenged, but it's a nice attempt, and you kind of okay with taking 2 players out there if you're the CT side, only investing a P250.
Jammer goes, my man said financially gaining round. Like, yeah, I mean, yeah. I know what I meant. I hope you know what I meant at least anyway. It's a fine way to put it with words in English. This round is big though. I mean, there's not a lot of utility. There wasn't a lot of utility purchased in the first place from Gamermen, but there's not a lot left after the opening foray of things. I can't stop saying foray now. It's done. And T side, you know, can favour that late game utility usage, or late round utility usage, I should say.
Yeah, really nice opening pick from Gamermen. Now just look at this position from Hookshot. If he played his cards right and just bided his time a bit longer, I would say there's a opportunity for him to get a multi-kill round. Not going to be the case, as he swings out a bit too early and loses his life for his troubles. Does have a bit of info off that, but you know, like you're saying, there's so much time left on the clock that you can't really do anything with the info that you've gained. It's not a committal bit of info, right?
Yeah, bit of patience, and yeah, as you said, multi-kill round, or at least more information that would have helped potentially set things up for Gamermen as, you know, the T-side push comes through. Proto there will swing through into smoke, picks up CZYMS. Food Monster is able to retort back off the backside. But Proto and Chef are clearing house here. As I say it, Chef will fall. Waff has more than half HP, so you can still make good use of this. He has a molly, but no bomb control. And it's out in the open. Timing getting caught there by Moonboot. 1v1 now, Jammer. Proto last man standing for the CT's bomb plant. He's going to be attempted, but not actually pushed in the end, and Proto will finish the round off.
Yeah, really nice clutch from Proto there in the 1v1. 4k overall, as you see him angling over and around the smokes. That initial kill through the smoke onto Palace is you know, a great start, and then great finish. But because it ended up in that 1v1, and because of the economy that we're badgering on about the entire time, the CT side's still not going to have all the bells and whistles that they could want.
How much longer can that go on for? You know, as soon as you start seeing Amazon putting good utility usage out, especially with the mid control, getting that top mid smoke. I don't know the name of it personally, but the one that you chuck from Bin from T-Spawn, getting that in place, that stops any kind of usage from Chef there onto mid. You know, as soon as T-side figures that out, that, you know, Gamermen aren't buying a heavy amount of utility and they can kind of swing through and use their own to make and garner more space out of it, this could be interesting to say the least. Poison Monkey there will sneak through unders. Hookshot's going to get finished off, but in the end, after taking down Ito Chan, Moonboot playing from behind. Time, perfect. Good headshot there onto Wolf. Should recover the AK, but it's whether you can put it into place. It isn't. Food Monster and Poison Monkey just clearing the entirety of mid there together. Bomb control goes back in favour of Amazon.
It was imperative for Gamermen to catch the right timings and to be able to play off each other right there. Just unable to you know, combine in that fashion, and now it's a really awkward spot. Holy Lamb has a timing, and that's a nice opening frag. It does bring it to a 2-on-2, but it doesn't really give an opportunity for Chef to come in and help things out. And well, when you've got 2 AKs bearing you down, you are going to have to forfeit some space, just as Holy Lamb has done.
seem to be seeing the same names repeating over and over that are last man standing. There's that opening scramble for kills from both sides, and then you have Food Monster and Poison Monkey, retaining bomb control, getting themselves into good positions for post plant, and Holy Lamb and Chef trying to recover something out of it. That's firebox cleared well and truly by Holy Lamb. The spray control will come in. He'll connect on the first, but Chef is able to actually pick up the final piece of that puzzle, I should say, under Poison Monkey. Has no defuse kit, does need it, has plenty of time to push in.
Yeah, really nice round in the end from Gamerman. Again, coming down to one player, but as long as they keep pulling these rounds across the line, you can't fault them too much for it. It really, does kind of put your heart in your mouth, though, if you're a Gamerman fan, because you kind of sat here the entire time at the front of your seat, just being like, grimacing.
It feels like it's make or break every
them.
time, right? Like it just feels like it's make or break constantly, and they have to keep clutching back into it. How long can teams survive doing that, though, Jammer? Like, we've seen it time and time again in the SCA. We've seen it time and time again in other tournaments that you and I have covered. It comes to be a breaking point at some point, and Gamermen are slowly getting in that direction. Food Monster put a hook shot to pieces. Woof there, stayed in the flames. Just let Chef cook him. Bomb plant will go in from the Amazon side here, but CT's got nothing of it. They know that the economy shot, Jammer. Look at the money that's in the bank from these players. There's nothing really for them to retain out of it other than get these M4s and AK. They've got a smattering of utility, but it's the armor that really counts into the next round for them.
Yeah, I mean, this is absolutely the right decision, and this is what we've been calling for, in previous rounds. In these kinds of spots, you might be better served saving, the guns and nades and just saying, okay, we'll just bring it into the next round. At least make sure that we have opportunities, have a chance of, putting up some sort of resistance, some sort of a fight. Now it's just a case of whether they can keep these guns, because the mini-map shows that the terror is converging on these players, and Proto is taken out, but there's a team kill in there somehow, and that's awkward, but it's going to be inconsequential overall for the T side, I'd say.
Yeah, exactly.
Man, oh man.
Not a lot of cash spent there from the CTs to buy up around the rifles, which makes sense in the long run. You'd expect some utility drops maybe, or upgraded pistols to come in from Chef. Holy Lamb doesn't have a lot of cash, of course, still, but I think that might be just because of the utility purchases. Where do you go from here if you're Gamermen? I mean, they're now going up against full stack AKs. Look how T's have slowly built this economy up over the last 10 rounds, and now they're in good head-in position.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think they're doing a good job right now of just jostling for control, being annoying, showing presence all across the map, and that was kind of the best opportunity to work your way into things. Moonboot goes down, that does forfeit a lot of control onto B, but hookshot straight with the counter, and that's going to be a nice step in the right direction.
What are you doing, step foot? Sorry, couldn't help myself.
Regardless, though, M4 is brought back into underpass, and now Holy Lamb has a big job to do. He needs to stay alive, he needs to have a multi-kill round. 1.5, and that's not quite good enough, but there is still the opportunity for the pistols to have some impact. Hook shot, caught up in a weird spot, but Proto can have some impact, and suddenly it's a 2-on-1. Bomb is down, and now it's a 1-on-1. Poison Monkey and Proto, we've heard these two names before. Who can come out on top? No kits and no armor. Smoke comes through, but doesn't really help them out, and Proto is just too quick on the trigger. Nice round in the end from Gamermen, pulling it across the line with just the 2 rifles and the pistols, right?
Yep. I mean, it's good eco. I use the word eco like they're all ecoing, but they're not. It is still good.
Yeah.
You had 3 players there with 1 upgraded pistol, P250, the rest was USP. There's no purchases from 3 players at least anyway, and then you have Chef and Holy Lamb that still fetch their rifles back through into the next round, and still to pull a round off the back of it. It's pretty good going from Gamerman. They need to dig deep into those pockets into this round though, and start pull things back. But again, they're caught in this weird scenario where they can't really afford a lot of utility, and the utility they are purchasing is more to delay things realistically.
Yeah, I mean, that's often the case on the CT side, and I think one of my favorite quotes is the CT side is almost like a mini T side. or at least that's a winning approach that you can apply to the game. But it doesn't really seem to be working out, too well for Gamermen, and so they've gone back into this passive stance, playing very reactive. And I mean, it's not often gonna give you winning rounds, but at least it gives you more of an opportunity, more of a safety blanket to kind of keep the cards, in your control. Oh,
big entries, Poison Monkey. Something we've seen him do time and time again for this T side to get those early entry frags in. I'm wondering when this org is going to come into play, and it's not in the end. Hookshot's going to get taken down by CZYMS, and Bomb Plant will go through into A side, and at the minute it's Moonboot who's caught between a rock and a hard place, Jammer.
Yeah, he's going to let them walk past, and this could be really good. He doesn't have a kit, so there's not really any hope of a ninja, but at least he can escape into the next round with the M4 in hand. As Amazon are kind of left scratching their heads as to where Moonboot is residing.
They've checked everywhere as well. I mean, look at minimap. You have a player at T-spawn, you have players wrapping all the way around into B side. Every single spot is getting checked. And he's just sat here, happy as you like. He could upgrade to an AK here, realistically. Not going to in the end, though. He's going to fall back into CT spawn. Relative safety. Keep that M4 into the next. Good trigger discipline there from Moonboot. Survive with the M4 into round 12. Gamermen are running out of rounds, though, to recover back from, and they are still leading the way, but it's a different story in the way that the gameplay has been put out, Jammer.
Yeah, it's not really been this story of, Gamermen putting in a formidable CT side. It's always been this case of constantly being on a knife's edge of their economic situation and just trying to balance the kind of situation moving forward. But you know what? The pistols are doing damage, and pistols can continue to do damage. That's definitely a good spot to be in. How has that happened?
2 AKs. Sorry, an AK and an AWP recovered. Yeah, how does this make any sense? Poison Monkey swings in from top mid, right? He clears 2 out immediately. That Chef and Lamb that are destroyed instantaneously. But he takes so much tap damage from the USPs in the hands of Chef and Holy Lamb that he's not able to really do anything off it. The AWP then, Food Monster, I think, had the AWP in fact for Food Monster, the AWP is just destroyed also. Proto will get finished off with the AK, however, and Hookshot left running for the hills with the AWP.
Yeah, that's one of those rounds where you look back on it if you're Gamermen and you're like, we were so close yet so far. Nice, idea to go for those fights in middle, and you definitely catch Amazon off guard, but just unable to capitalize off it. And I think if they realized bomb was just around the corner, they would have kept pushing through middle and tried to maintain control of that, but not to be. That is often how it goes in the Counterstrike world. And now it's going to be an even keel at the top of the scoreboard, 6-6, as Amazon level things up.
Head is spotted there by Wolf. He's not going to get across in time, however, to finish off. Hookshot. You retain your AWP into the next round. Viper on the AWP? Question mark. Or not? That's the big question, really, isn't it, from Gamermen?
Yeah, I
can't really afford it either way, can you? I mean,
I think if Chef was having good impact with the AWP and who's consistently getting opening picks and making things difficult for Amazon, you'd say yeah, absolutely. But he's having a rough time so far, and Hookshot goes for something cheeky with the Zeus. We've seen him do it before. Not going to work out in this round, and that's instantly a 5 versus 4. But with the pistols on the board, the odds were never stacked in your favor from the start.
No. Time in there from Proto, you'll catch the AWP off guard because they put damage out. It's not straight away, it's pick one, but how is he allowed to get that pick out the CZYMS? They know he's there, but they just don't look for him anymore after he disappears from screens. Doesn't make any sense. It's a round on the border coast for Amazon, but could have gone another direction depending on how much more damage Proto could have done there on Palace.
Yeah, I think the A site has been, it's not been weak by any means, but it's definitely been a consistent way for Amazon to at least get a bomb plant and contend for the round, whether it's clutched up or not. So it's interesting to see the game plan right here. It does seem as though they're going to approach middle again, though. And with the way that things have worked out, I don't know, it could definitely favor them. That's a weird one.
Yeah.
That's not going to help anything else as Gamermen fall 2 men down in a 5 versus 3 situation. Can they make it back, Nick?
I mean, I want to say yes, because we've seen really good things from them. But again, the really good things we've seen from them is like scrambling for kills and scrambling for round wins.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can't survive like that in a 3v5. You know, maybe running for the hills is a good idea. But, you know, like it's the last run round at the end of the day. They've got to do something with what they have available to them. Wolf whiffing some shots there doesn't really help his situation out. You'll get traded in the end by Moon Boots. Chef somehow survives with the AWP. No point in retaking this. Surely not. No, it's not.
I mean, yeah, as you said, it's second to last round. If you don't save these rifles going into the next round, you're not going to have them. That's plain and simple as that. So, you know, it's really imperative for them to save these rifles into the next. Just give them the chance to get a 7th round and, you know, make things difficult, or at least give yourself a better chance moving into the second half of the game. But, yeah, honestly, Amazon...
Sorry, I was going to say, this I don't get. My buddy just got killed on short. Let's all go short. Let's all see if we can get a kill on short. Or line up for the AWP. Apologies, it tickled me a little bit there.
Anywho,
yeah, sorry.
It's last round of the half.
Tangent moment that was then. Yes, last round of the half. 15 rounds have been played so far. 8-6 is your scoreline in favour of Amazon. Kind of lackluster towards the beginning of this first half, but have just been powering through Jammer.
Yeah, and I think one thing we can talk about is Gamermen have seemed like a different squad compared to previous seasons that we've seen them play in. And, you know, granted, they made it to the grand finals, but kind of expecting, you know, a different kind of story coming through right here. That's the kind of story I was expecting. Hookshot with 3 kills. That's great impact. Chef to help him out, and Wolf can't do anything. Burning in the flames. Nice, confident final round from Gamermen. Can they convert that into some round wins in the second half, Nick?
Woof, woof. That was crazy. Second time that Woof has just fallen in the flames of Chef's molly. Burnt to a crisp. Not really the round you want to do that on in the final round, especially when you put an extra one on the board. Gamermen, though, T-side. We've seen them perform very well on this map on T-side, especially off the back of pistol. But again, it's the struggles that have been there that we've seen for the last map as well. You know what I mean? It's you're right in what you're saying. This is a different Gamermen that we've seen so far today.
Well, a little bird in my ear says to expect something heinous out of this round, and well, it's not quite a heinous push from Hookshot, but he just makes his way out of Palace uncontested, and I think it's unbeknownst to Amazon for all intents and purposes. How has he made it this far out? This is a bizarre, weird spot to be in. Smoke's coming over for the T side, but Hookshot's already tucked himself into the corner of Ticket. He could have tremendous impact right here, but biding his time right now. Proto with the opener, bomb being planted. UIMS can't do anything over the smoke. Hookshot finally activates, and this is going to be a tough retake to say the least for the CT side. Not going to fancy their chances. There's just Food Monster left in 1 versus 5. Picks up 1, but gotta say, doesn't seem like he's long for this world. Just trying to stay alive, bide his time, at least give himself a chance for a couple more kills and see if it's somewhat viable. Trades over to another USP. Isn't gonna favor him well, and yeah, that's
Where was the heinous? Sorry, sorry.
I believe it was Hookshot making his way out of Palace.
Oh, okay, and then getting that close. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that is a very deep T-side player, very at the very beginning of the round as well, to get that close and personal. 8-8 is the scoreline, Drama.
It is
divided as far as where this is going to go in the end.
Well, okay, I want to hear what you've got to say. You know, Amazon won the previous game. they've been looking good so far, but Gamerman have definitely come into things. Do we, see this going towards the third map or not?
I'd like to see it go to map 3, to be honest with you. I think, given the opportunity, Gamerman can kind of pull it back into a map 3. We've seen Amazon basically punish Gamerman in Overpass, and now we're seeing this kind of like scramble play from Gamerman into the second map. Third map will be even keel for both sides, and I think we'll see a relatively relaxed Vertigo, as relaxed as you can be on Vertigo, at least anyway, Java.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard the words Vertigo and relax in the same sentence, but there you go.
Depends how you play it. I mean, I play it with smooth jazz on in the background. It's like, chilled out as you can possibly be.
That's cap. I don't believe that for a second.
You've watched me play it with jazz on. And actually, no, not jazz. Lo-fi hip hop. That's still chill. Still chill. This round is all but dead, however, as we head into the dying stages of round 17. Some tap damage being laid out on the CZMS. And Gamerman is trying to pull something out of the bag here to grab another, but no avail.
Yeah. Tickling CZM with the Mac 10 bullets right there. Not going to close the kill. But you know what? This is the rifle round, and what do we love about rifle rounds?
Oh, it's crunch. Everything. It's perfect. It's exactly what we like to see from CS. It's two teams head-to-head against each other with rifles, and it's anything can happen moments. That's what's now going to start to begin to happen. No long-range rifle potential. No big green as well on either side. That mid-control has been locked into place by a swing peek from Food Monster from Connector. He now reverts to covering underpass as you would normally expect. Poison Monkey picks up the control himself from short. He'll tap damage one down. He'll receive a hell of a grenade thrown straight back in his direction, and he needs to evaporate from that position as quick as he possibly can, unless he wants to die. Nitro-chan there will pick up Moon Boots. Moon Boot 3000. Wonder what happened to the other 2,999s.
I don't think we want to know.
Anyway, swinging straight back into it, and the CTs do pick up a round. Of course, they will continue to spread that aggression a little bit more. Eco round, big eco. Nah, it won't be an eco actually. It's 4,300 in the hands of most of the Gamermen. They should really buy AKs.
Yeah,
two,
I mean,
three?
at least Galils and nades, right?
Yeah, I mean, two Mac 10s. Proto digging deep into his pockets there, buying a lot of utility as well also.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. It does seem as though there's something on the cards in terms of a set play. B approach and perhaps a B execute will be all the pressure on these CT defenders, but Moonboo's making great progress out of apps. Challenged, but Wolf goes down, and while the Molotov cuts the fight in half, there is some damage dealt onto the site. Market fight's not going to favour the T side though, and this is awkward. 2 versus 3, but Proto's so low that he's cut out the equation fairly quickly. Holy Lamb in a one-on-one now, and this is anyone's game. It's just going to come down to the timings. Oh, and Holy Lamb can't bring it across the line. Amazon do manage to steal another round away, but that was looking like a Gamerman round through and through.
Sorry. Just seen British say Galil. Yeah, we call it Galil. Galil? I don't know. How do you pronounce it?
Galil?
Galil? Galil? I don't know. Either way, the cheap
What
AK is what I.
What would the American pronunciation even be?
I don't know.
Galil.
Galil. We're gonna get fired, 100%. We made comments about NA nades, and now we're ripping on the accent. That's it. Hope everyone's happy with the last broadcast of Reaper Steve and Jammer for CEA Grand Finals.
I mean, if we're gonna go into accents, I'm gonna broach the topic of Roadman round.
No, we're not doing Roadman round.
No,
I can't do it.
Okay.
I can't do it. I haven't practiced. It's on the cards. Sees it by a mess, however. Speaking of cards, is gonna call his cards to question. If I can speak English for a second, Nitro-chan's there gonna help him out as well also, and Proto's last man standing, and he is just not in an ideal position at all. He's getting nades thrown at him, he's having everything thrown in his direction.
There's monsters in the closet.
Green Glock in hand. Wow, timing of that was impeccable. He'll immediately start to inspect. That smoke's going to die any second, and then Proto should, in theory, die immediately afterwards.
Nice. splash. But yeah, I've been impressed with Amazon so far. It's a kind of a shame that we've not been able to see Gamer Men perform, you know, as expected come into things. But as we peter down to kind of the end of this second half, we're kind of running out of chances for Gamer Men to come into things.
I want to pass comment on profile skins. Why are you the scuba man? I don't get it. The Navy SEAL scuba man thing. It always spins me out. Anyway, sorry, there was a deep moment thoughts there. CT side, however, looking to make a lot of aggression up top mid. That flashback will go out, and Hito-chan's punished for being out of position there and an awkward timing. Moonboot will be the one to finish him off, but there's a lot of damage being tapped onto two, well, now one of the T sides that are left alive. That being Moonboot again. Proto will swing into Food Monster, clear him out nice and simply with the AK. And this is looking more and more like a good A round for them. Chef will finish off Caesar by MS, or kill Caesar by MS, I should say. The smokes will be deployed, but there is one man who's the thorn in the side of the rotation players from the CTs, and it's Proto.
Yeah, I mean, Proto and Chef both kind of popping up and saying surprise B. But, you know, that's going to be a round win when you're surprising your counterparts, your enemies, with your positions. It's always going to make life a bit easier. It's just a matter now of whether Amazon can keep these rifles in hand moving forward.
Don't push it, Proto. I can feel his brain going like, I should clear this. There might be a CT in that. I could get a kill from a CT. You don't have the money to do it. Don't do it. Tame. Oh, okay. For a second, the way his crosshair went onto his back, like, excuse me.
The bloodlust.
Position. Yeah, exactly. The bloodlust. Bloodlust kicked into effect a little bit too quickly.
I've just realised you have netgraph on, my guy.
I do have netgraph on, yes. Because I need to adjust my CS settings. For some reason, it's been spiking quite a lot, so I put netgraph on just in case. But I'll turn it off for you. How's that sound?
That sounds like it would elevate the production.
Thank you. There you go.
Oh, there you go. How clean is that?
Wanted to see that we were on 128 ticks. Never know.
Well, doesn't matter how many frames you've got, as long as you're hitting shots in the server, and Poison Monkey's going to be putting shots right into the body of Hookshot. Holy lamb, though. Nice conversion onto the AWP, and I don't know. Usually we'd see that in the hands of It's-chan, but not going to be the case for this round. Missed smoke there, but not going to be punished too much by the CT side just yet. Food Monster does trade over the AWP, and I've got to say, this is a really weird spot to be in when you're leaving yourself open to so many different spots on the CT side. But with all this mid aggression, I guess Amazon are kind of counting the laurels and just allowing, you know, the fights to come to them.
I want to see where this build-up comes from, because I mean, Gamerman, you know, Proto being in this position, okay, that clears out so much room for them to maneuver through short. Like, he's not been picked up at all. I know the smoke obviously gave him quite a lot of cover, but he still would have made noise jumping up, and no one's really done anything too aggressive towards him. Realistically speaking, the Gamerman should be going B at this point, but it's like they're looking to still swing it towards his side. We'll see the head of Hito-chan. There'll be a grenade thrown in his direction, but Wolf is just up on top of Ticket, and he's looking to slap as much damage as he possibly can. He's actually continuing the damage there. Chef falls, also falls immediately after, and Food Monster is just perfect positioning and good timing from him with the AWP.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Maybe they should have headed towards B, but sometimes you just see red, such as when chat tries to pull a Joe Mama joke on you. You know, you just start to see red and
constantly
just commit to where you're going.
Such is life, unfortunately, for me. Joe PVM. I don't know why, but we've been asked if we can shout out Joe PVM. So shout out Joe PVM. There you go. Happy chat is polite chat. See? Which reminds me of that tournament you and I did, where I managed to control a crowd of like 4,000 people in chat.
Oh, oh my God, that was such a bizarre moment to be alive.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it was crazy. Speaking of crazy things, eco round, 3 deagles in the hands there of Chef, Holy Lamb, and Moonboot. That Molly will stifle things, but one has managed to sneak through the line, and that's going to be Hookshot there, who's tucked away just inside, but CZYMS is too quick for him. He'll pick him up with the AWP.
Man, this is
Just
weird
here and
stuff. Yeah, I think Amazon have kind of started learning from, you know, their own approach to T-side, but also just countering what Gamermen are throwing at them. They completely stack the site, stop and stifle any push past ramp with the effective smokes and whatnot, and it's just a really tough spot to go past that point because you've used all your utility, you've only got the pistol's hand, you kind of just need to commit, but it doesn't work out.
13-10 is a scoreline, and I mean, if Amazon continue the way that they've been playing for the last couple of rounds, this could be all she wrote for Gamermen. Unfortunately, we don't ever go into map 3, but only time will tell. CZYMS helping there with that flash. Yeah, pick in the end. Good Molotov there by Poison Monkey. That will again stifle things with the utility usage coming out from the CT side. Proto in a good position in smoke. We'll pick up Food Monster. It's not really a massive impact though in the way that this T-side gameplay is going. That, however, does change things. Should they now be rotating back towards B? There is a question mark over the head, of Holy Lamb as he kind of stops himself and thinks, right, actually, yeah, we should be potentially going to the B side now, but the wraparound could happen at any minute. There's a trade of utility as CZYMS tries to claim back some sort of control from Connector. The photo will be finished off. This is swinging back and forward, Jammer, and I mean, I'm more inclined again to say B side. Obviously, you and I have the benefit of seeing the mini-map, but even without the mini-map, I'd be more inclined to go B.
Yeah, I mean, I think that round really comes down to Proto not being able to catch the AWPer off guard CZYM. You know, he caught him lacking, but just didn't react in time. So that's an unfortunate spot. Now it's a 3-on-3, 30 seconds on the clock. You sat in middle with no real inclination of where you want to go. It might just end up petering down and, you know, time being a consequence of your actions.
Yep, you put it perfectly the other day to me. Time will be the thing that will screw you over here, and Edo-chan there delaying things has actually helped out massively. You see to the side, CZMS dropped the bomb controller. He'll actually drop the hook shot. We picked up the bomb as well straight after. There's no time regardless. It's just awkward gameplay from Gamermen there. I think you're right though on what you're saying, Proto not clearing that extra man on mid from with the AWP. It writes the round off really, doesn't it, at that point?
Yeah, like especially when he goes down in connector, you know, like it's you could forgive someone for missing a kill, you know, just on the reactions, but then when you're falling in the counter way that it should have gone, that's a real feels bad man moment. And now we're on the cusp of Amazon being on map and match point for this grand finals, and Gamermen only have pistols to work with. It's a really unfortunate spot, but it's kind of, you know, we've seen the writing on the wall for quite a few rounds at this point.
That was clean.
Okay. All right.
Let's be completely honest with ourselves. That was very clean. Sheesh, indeed. I need you to send me you doing that, by the way, so I can have it for my alarm clock in the morning. Wake up, Reaper. Sheesh. Oh, Proto. Sheesh, indeed. The Poison Monkey caught the backside of him from short with that. We're gone now, innit? We're done.
No.
Oh, no, not gonna happen. Gamermen somehow managed to clutch it back. They were slipping through their fingertips there, let's be completely honest, but that was a good pistol round from them. They get bomb plant control, and they also get all the frags that they need as well.
Yeah, somewhat of a blunder in the positioning from Amazon there. You know, they kind of leave B site open, the pistols take control, and then there's multiple angles of lurk coming through just at the right moments in time to be like a real thorn in the sides. And yeah, that really comes down to positioning, the rotations coming through, and just Gamermen approaching that perfectly, to be honest.
CZYMS getting out of there with no life actually in the end. I was going to say, he gets out of that situation, but then repeats back into it for the grenade. It doesn't compute for me, to be honest with you. Pull away, fight another day, see what happens after that. Looking good though for Gamermen. They need these early picks. They need to get those danger players out of the way as well. CZYMS has been a thorn in their side for 2 maps now, and I say 2 maps, a map and 3 quarters, because it feels like we're coming to the end of this one as we speak. Ito-chan there will finish off Moonboot. Hookshot is able to connect onto Food Monster. And it all goes quiet again. Oh, the timing of that. Holy Lamb retreating back up top mid, gets taken down by Poison Monkey. Hookshot has to recover this round, or recover this kill. Proto is finished off before it can happen. Bomb control is recovered, but that's a lot of information gained from the CTs.
Yeah, they know exactly where Bomb is, know exactly where Hookshot is, and they can set up perfectly to counter any sort of play coming through. That's a questionable play from Mr. Chan, and he's punished for it. So Hookshot can get across the corner, plant the bomb, and suddenly there's a window of opportunity for him to win this 1-on-2. Mr. Chan is low, but has the AWP in hand, and I'm not a big fan of this play right here. No. This shouldn't work out, but it does for the first. And thought he connected that spray right there. Flash is not going to blind him. Don't know if Hookshot realizes positioning, and now it's just ring around the rosy. On for the ace, though, as Hookshot can take his time, play around with the approach from Wolf, and that's another blunder from the CT side. Hookshot with an ace, but what an impeccable bit of play from him. We've used that word so many times. We need to stop.
Impeccable? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do. We need a jar, and like every time you say repeat words, you
a word jar.
You put $1 in the jar, as they say. You know? My God, my American accent is horrific. I've watched way too many action films. Anyway, pushing straight forward into the secret round here. They push up top mid, and they're able to get 2 for their troubles, but there's an extra man standing by, and it's Proto again. He's going to get rid of all those AKs. Good play, that is. I like that. I like that quite a lot.
I agree with you, but at the same time, you know, there's a timing where, like, as he's throwing a gun away, he could be caught off guard.
Yeah,
you need to be careful about those kinds of things. But yeah, I do like the play. That's unfortunate. Throws all those AKs away just to trade one over himself.
Yeah. That's CS, baby. You know, literally, that is CS. CZYMS, though, he'll retain the AK. He's not going to push into this. There's no need for him to. I mean, we normally say with eco rounds, getting 3 picks is good. Getting 3 picks in an AK is very good.
Yeah, honestly, there was no real hope of them winning the round or stealing it away in that situation. So the return on investment of getting 3 kills and picking up the AK not only puts pressure on your opponent's economy, or at least starts to, it starts to, you know, benefit yourself, as you can bring the rifle into the next round, drop it over to a teammate, and look at the situation we're in now. You know, without that AK being traded across, there would be a lot less nades being bought up, perhaps not even an AWP in the hands of CZYMS. So that's going to pay itself forward, and now it's all up to Amazon to see if they can pull us across the line and lock in map and match point.
Good setups coming in from the T side, though. I mean, there's no one really looking towards mid to kind of prevent this from happening, but Hookshot's able to get all the way deep. He's caught now between an AWP and an M4. He'll actually finish off the M4 there. In fact,
I don't know how he's done that.
No, neither do I. I mean, he's in an island there, and he's somehow managing to survive. I say that through gritted teeth, though. I mean, he's 8 HP. He's taken quite a lot of punishment as a result of him being in that position. But he's causing so many troubles for the CT side. They're having to look in multiple directions, really. They're having to draw. He's drawing their attention away from multiple directions, is what I'm getting at. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that he's able to just walk up middle and get 2 kills there is really big impact. And the fact that, you know, he's a known quantity right now, but he's just staying alive. He's biding his time, and that's perfect. That's absolutely what you want in this situation. It keeps the CT second guessing, and now Amazon are stuck in this situation where Gamermen are going to pressure the B site, but the rotations and the way that they come through to help their solo player on the B site might be cut in half.
That smoke is crazy good, by the way.
I'll show you that one later. Amazon, though, they need to lock down the site. That's going to help their case. A really nice spray control transfer, but it's a chance going to have the perfect rotation for that timing and lock things in. Amazon get their 15th on the board, and this is map and match point for the grand finals of CEA Counterstrike, even though we're on that Valorant channel. We won't mention that, though.
The less said, the better. But definitely the less said, the better.
We're definitely getting fired for the next one, aren't we?
Yeah.
People at home, please petition us so we still have jobs.
Yeah. Free Rick Steve, free jam. Speaking of free things, Porter gets a kill for free more or less there from unders. Coming in quite handily. Holy Lamb and Hookshot there doing their work also to keep Demon Men in this fight. Oh, that miss for the first one, but Porter was not going to survive a second. And this has shifted the balance again. I mean, this crazy rounds that we're experiencing, it's only CEA that we really watch when we get to this sort of stage where we're sitting there going like, who is actually going to win it, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. This is okay. This is really impactful. If Wolf can get more than one, not to be the case. And now Chan really shouldn't have any chance. Should be cut out by Chef, and it is locked in. So Gamermen on the precipice of pushing this into overtime and keeping their hopes alive, pushing it towards Vertigo. Do need to bring one more round across the board. On the counter side of things, though, Amazon have a dire buy in this situation. So this is perfectly set up for Gamermen to push things into overtime, unless Amazon can steal one away and lock in that 16-14 and that grand finals win.
Indeed, Chef will start things off in the best possible way there for Gamermen. Picks up Vito Chan. Again, danger players getting taken out is exactly what you want to see from this side, and Order Director just decided that they wanted to go into third person for whatever reason. Switch that back immediately. Danger players getting taken out left and right, though. Chef will fall in the end after that initial pick into Palace. There's so much room to maneuver that's been given to this T side. It's how much of an impact they make with it.
Yeah, I think an important thing to note as well is that Chef's AWP hasn't been retrieved by the CT side, so it's not like they can use that moving forward. They're still stuck on these lower firepower weapons, and that is going to make things hard, but the Max 7 actually has some impact. It's a glass Max 7, I should say, as we see this real awkward situation going down on the B side. Poison Monkey isn't long for this world, though, and now it's a 3-on-3. Amazon trying to go for this retake to just lock things down, but right now it's looking like overtime.
Yeah, it really is. I want to say this out loud as well. Gamermen deserve an OT, realistically, after the way they played the last couple of rounds. We want to see this go to map 3, and if Gamermen can win it in OT, perfect. Oh god, everything's falling apart, Java. Everything is done.
How has that happened?
How the hell did that happen?
Amazon are your CEA CS champions off of that bizarre final round. Congratulations to them winning 16-14. Commiserations to Gamermen. I am mind-boggled.
I'm astounded by that.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, just as quick as we're sitting there going, this is going to OT, it just all falls apart. It evaporated more or less in front of our very eyes. That's insane. I don't even know where to go after that, to be completely honest with you. That's done me in a little bit. Commiserations, of course, to Gamermen, though. I mean, that's... If you're going to lose it, that's a hard way to lose it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And, they're the defending champions coming in. They make it to the finals and just kind of stumble at the last obstacle. It's unfortunate. It's probably going to sting. But if anything, I guess that this is just motivation for them to come back next year, make their way to the finals and hopefully win it, to bring it back over towards their winning favor. But yeah, congratulations to Amazon. That's really well played from them in the end. Yeah, I'm still sorry. I'm still mind blown by that final round.
Yeah, same here. I want to go back and watch it again. We have the ability to go back and watch it again. I'm not gonna put the Gamermen through that, or that are watching in chat. That wouldn't be very fair on them. But I think I'm gonna have to go watch it again to see what really happened. This is that's nuts. I mean, I hope everyone's enjoyed at least anyway. I know I speak for the both of us when I say that we both enjoyed, of course. Hopefully we're back next year. I think CEA, CSGO were cancelled. I don't think it is. I don't know though. Okay. Chat is saying that there's no CSGO next year. We'll see. We'll do what we can. We'll have a little bit of an impact in the background, right, Jama?
Yeah, no, I for you guys at home that are participating, I'd absolutely just keep an eye with what goes on, because I know that CA are keen to keep things like this, alive and kicking. Just try and encourage, more people to join in, because if there's demand for more of this kind of thing, then it will happen.
Exactly that. Otherwise, though, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon for you guys, this evening for us in the UK and the rest of the year. It's 10 past 10, and I think what I'm looking forward to going forward, Jammer, is tomorrow's grand finals, because we have 2 major grand finals coming up as well, which is even better. Otherwise, though, thank you very much for watching once again. Jammer, do you have any final closing words before I hit the button to send us to the music and they haven't got to listen to our awful voices for another season?
Yeah, just congratulations again to Amazon winning. I think it was $1,200 for their charity.
Yeah.
And then Gamer Men, of course, bringing 600 to their charity. So I can't quite remember what the charities are, but congratulations to both those teams. And I'm glad that we're doing all of this for a good cause at the end of the day.
Cause.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for everyone for taking part. And again, I just want to reiterate, make sure that you guys are making your demand for this kind of thing known and try and get as many people into this as possible.
Exactly. If you want to catch up with me and Jammer and what we're up to, you can follow us both on Twitter. I'm at ReaperSteve1 on Twitter. Jammer is at Jammer_CS. If you want to get into stuff more and more with CEA, if you scroll down on the Twitch page, there's some links there that you can go into to support. You can get to their website. You can see their Twitter page. Everything and anything that you want to see is all available to you at your fingertips. Get involved. Otherwise, though, thanks for watching. Have a great evening, everybody, and we'll see you on the next one.